What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be starting a new city build on City Skylines, just kind of going through the routines that I do to build the city, how it kind of develops, how I like to plan where we're going to be going with it, what kind of features we want to include, and really what kind of industry zones and housing zones we want to lay out. This isn't really going to be a tutorial as so much more of a playthrough. I will be kind of explaining some of the thought processes of what we're doing, why we're putting things where we do, and kind of how we get to that point, but not so much of a tutorial per se. So the first thing we want to do is check the areas that our resources are going to show up. But actually, we can't do that until we build our first road. So we'll just go ahead and throw a normal road in here. And if you played any cities, you know you have to kind of start with that. And that will result in a couple things. Unlocking over here, power, water, stuff like that, and traffic flow. And that's what we wanted to see right there is our wind usage. So the first real power source that I like to use is wind, just because it's cheap, it's easy to maintain, it doesn't produce a lot of energy, but in the beginning city, you know, we don't really need that much energy. So, looks like we got a lot of wind, of course, close to the coast and up in this little corner, a little bit there. You want to obviously build toward things like this if you're planning on using wind power, but we're not really going to do that to start out. It'll be more of just doing the first few houses in the city, and then we'll upgrade to a larger power plant when we can. So I'm kind of planning out a road there. I'm not really feeling that though. What we're going to do is we're going to try to work toward this coast, I think, as quickly as possible. And that's going to detail needing the highway to kind of wrap this way, right? So we kind of want to follow that path. And then once we get the highway over here, we'll want to kind of just follow this coastline a little bit, kind of fill in some of this area once we can. And really just start building in what'll be our harbor and our ship lane and stuff like that. Which means we kind of want to leave about this much area open, and just kind of fill in this stuff here. So the first thing to do that, I think we're going to build something this way, maybe leave a gap open for some roads. So we do have one-lane roads available. Best thing to do here, how I like to start it out is kind of just use this to wrap down, and you can use your little grid snaps here to make that happen. You just kind of wrap it down here, kind of where I feel we're going to be going. I don't necessarily know that it's going to be a straight angle like that. I'll probably want to do it somewhere like this way, huh? Yeah, something about like that, maybe. Yeah. So let's just bring this back, and we're bringing it back here because we don't need all of that road yet, and that road's kind of really going to end up costing us money if we go ahead and build that. So we'll just scale it back a little bit just to get us going. We're going to come out 12 on each one of these, which is 240 cost. And all that's going to do is allow us to build the second road around pretty simply. Of course, the only problem is it's not going to line up with that now, but that's okay. We can make it work. And we do want to build a little curve into it. And we'll just curve it up there, something like that. And just to make it work right now, we'll just add one-way road, just going right into it. And that'll start the city out for us. Now, if you notice, we're using dirt roads in the middle here. I think we're going to stick with that. They are a little bit cheaper than normal paved roads. So in the starting city, it's kind of important that we keep that kind of cheaper mindset going. Because if we don't, then we'll end up just running out of money very quickly. And we'll kind of follow it around like that. Something similar to that. And we'll just do this one out as well. And that'll allow us to put in the water tower that we wanted to use. So the reason why we go with water towers is because of the line costs. You'll have to put in tubing all the way out there and use two different wind turbines. So I like to just throw a water tower down, usually somewhere right in the middle of the highway. And that gives you the real feel of a real city too. Most small towns use water towers to distribute water. And I always just like to follow the road path when we're building these pipes. That'll help with natural disasters later on. So now that we got water, we can, like I said, throw in our wind turbine. Now you do want to keep this away from your residential zone. So we're gonna fill all this in pretty heavy with residential. And I'm probably gonna use this area this way for our industrial. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and throw this in to where the noise from it doesn't really affect all that. Doesn't really affect our housing market, you know. And run some power lines to get over there. Throw this in there. And the last thing, of course, we have to do is sewage. Now, looking at this, all of our water is flowing down this way, running out into... We don't really have a lot of options here, so I guess we're just put it as deep down here as we can. Run this back up. And back to power. Just run this straight there for now. We'll delete most of that later on, once we get the city building a little bit. Don't really like the way this worked out. Should kind of make it a little bit more even, I think. Start that one right in the middle. Now that should give us our 12 to right there. Yeah, that'll work a little better. I have to turn some of the grid snapping off here. To kind of make all this work. And then we'll just rebuild some of this infrastructure here. And re-upgrade these roads. What is going on here? Don't really know why this is giving me such a hard time, but it is. We can make that work. We'll make that work for now. It's not the prettiest, but we can make it work. And if your roads are going the wrong way, you can just flip them back around, of course. There we go. And we'll connect those dirt roads back in to our city. Why? There we go. Do something a little bit like that. We'll unpause, speed it up, let it fill in a little bit. While that's filling in, we'll go ahead and start producing some of what we want to be the industrial zone on this side of the city. We want to keep you want to keep industrial zones away from a couple things. You want to keep it away from your housing and any of your water sources. If you put if this area becomes polluted, then all your citizens will start getting sick, and of course you don't want that. When is our first milestone? 500 residents. 500 of them. All right. So we'll kind of do the same thing. We want to make a little arterial road here. Something that comes this way. Then we can just kind of rezone some of this area. Make it just kind of industrial use without really putting too much thought into that. Industrial areas usually have a little bit less of planning and more of it just happens where it happens type thing in a real city. So we'll just kind of mimic that. And of course we're not getting any citizens because we have a road facing the wrong direction. And now we'll get people to start moving in. So I'm thinking we're gonna extend this little road, and we want to keep this open. Eventually I'll change it to all highway going through here, which will then be above these roads. You know, you'll kind of have this as I'll run a highway down the center basically, where I have it, and we'll have this as like a collector that then would feed into that highway, kind of like an outer road to a city. If you're used to that type of thing in more rural areas. And yeah, I like the direction this is going. It kind of leads over here straight to this. That'll get us to kind of a coastline. As soon as we can buy that square, we can start building along the coast. Have a little separate city type situation going on there. And now we need some jobs. So we'll go ahead and pause it while we get this developed a little bit. The city has a hard time growing if you don't have jobs for the people to move in. So you'll see that fill in pretty quickly, which will create the jobs that these guys need to then bring in more residents. As that goes up, see a couple things, and now we'll just wait, see if we can't get some more residents to come in here. I don't like to build on my main roads. I like to kind of keep it off that. I like to reserve that for more of the low density commercial areas, maybe some high density late game. But the commercial areas I like to keep open for, you know, those main roads, because you're not really going to have houses on your main roads, right? Think about the biggest road in your city, or maybe you have a few that kind of circle the city and kind of collect all the people and deliver them to other sides of the town. Those are all mostly shopping or stuff like that. You're not really going to have any residential in those areas. And that's exactly what you're seeing. We need places for our goods to go. So we'll just fill some of that in. And we're going to leave this open. I'm not going to put anything in the middle here. I know it's a little bit of wasted space early game, but I don't want to have to come back in and delete a bunch of businesses. That hurts the economy later on. So we'll just kind of do that. And while that's filling in, we'll go ahead and start kind of working working this way a little bit more. Looks like we don't really need to bend yet for the direction we were going. Yeah. And kind of just do that. This is what I was kind of talking about. You know, once the highway comes over, we'll have roads like that that'll connect it to each side of the city back together. And already we're running out of power. So a couple things we're gonna do. We can come in here, and instead of building a new tower, which will actually end up costing us money, we'll just go ahead and bump that up a little bit, just to make sure we have, you know, enough power for the citizens. Looks like the sewage is kind of running out of power too. I figured it would be. See if we can't get that to go up as soon as we start. Yeah, there we go. Now that we're funding it a little bit more, it becomes a little bit more efficient. We'll be good for a little bit longer. Since we do have the industrial zone though now, we could start putting in other power resources. I don't like to do it early game because you end up polluting your area, your housing area, and so that's why I don't do it early game. But now that we got the industrial, we can just go ahead and kind of do this number. And follow it that way. We'll probably end up filling this in a little bit more. Not too much, maybe bring it out here or something. Kind of fill that in. I don't know. We'll just see how that ends up. But we do need way more housing, so kind of fill that back in here. You see, like I said, I don't want to fill this area in with the industrial, so what we're going to do is actually switch our tool. Some people like to use this one where you can kind of do this type of thing and choose the boxes. You can go to where you can just, you know, fill it in, brush it in if you want. Sometimes you get that little over brush. You can do a smaller brush. But yeah, we'll do something like that, and this one will kind of fill into there, and same thing down to there. Just leaving that main road open. I'll let that play out for just a few minutes. See if we can't get up to 500 population really quick and get that first achievement. Unlock taxes and loans and stuff. And we forgot to add in water, so we'll just go ahead and do that now. And like I said, you really want to make these a loop just because of disasters later on. If you have the disasters map pack or you know, content creator pack, you really want to make sure that all that is being taken care of for the later game. And it looks like we're gonna have to go ahead and throw in another wind turbine anyways, just to keep the power going. Budget's looking good. Influx in civilians looking good. We're just gonna go ahead and sit here for a minute and let it kind of build itself out. And of course we need more of this, so let's go ahead and throw that in. Probably rezone these two to be, and that'll help. You see some of the buildings over in the industrial zone leveling up now. One thing I don't really like here is that this isn't really filling in very nicely. We kind of got some broken up paths and stuff like that. So later in the game, we'll have the parks and plazas stuff we can build, like the path footways and stuff. That'll actually unlock here as soon as we hit 500. So I'll probably fill in some, you know, fill in that, put some trees in, make it a little park area almost. And that'll kind of help just fill that area and do a little bit of detailing on it. Which admittedly, detailing is not one of my strong suits, actually. I'm not very good at it. I end up, if I come off of this one and make it a little bit nicer of a bin. There we go. That's what I'll be talking about. And then we'll just fill that in naturally, just like it would. I really don't like to have to delete houses later on. I wish I would have planned for this kind of scenario a little bit better. This is something to think about as you're putting roads into the city, you know. Something like that. You wanna pre-plan, you know, because the more houses you have to remove later on, kind of the worse off your city's gonna be in terms of growth. When you delete people's houses, the game kind of treats that as if you're not necessarily kicking people out, but not helping them stay, if that makes sense. So yeah, just make sure you try not to delete as many houses as you can. Kind of pre-planning is key in that. And of course we're going to need water going this way. And there we go. The Whittle Hamlet 500. We unlock some things here. Garbage, healthcare, education, all the schools and a landfill, taxes, loans. Which is something we're going to hit on here in just a second, as soon as we get this water filled in so we can keep growing. Taxes. Now that we have taxes unlocked, we're actually going to come over here. We'll down budget this because we put that second wind turbine in, and come over here to taxes. Right now we don't necessarily need it. We're making pretty good money, $1,000 a week, $1,300 a week, not too bad. But we can actually take this up a little bit to 12 and maximize our profits here. 12 is kind of the limit of what the game wants you to do. Anything more than that, and it'll kind of start kicking you out, kicking you back. People will begin to leave the city, stuff like that. So now I just kind of like to take the education, and what we need to do here is really get these people educated, because they're going to start needing upgraded workers over there. So I like to just kind of look around, see where I can get kind of the most coverage at. It looks about right there, maybe. So let's go ahead and throw that in, and we're actually going to come in and de-zone these houses now. Like I said, I don't like to do this, but with that, they will actually de-zone that, and then we can kind of fill that in with maybe a basketball court or something, and kind of make that area look better here in a few minutes. We do also need a landfill. So now this is a great time to expand our industrial zone. We'll just pull it out here, and we're going to kind of save some of the natural trees we got going on here. I like to kind of follow this little line here, kind of maybe bend it back into there, something like that. And that'll kind of break up the grid type look that we're kind of trying to stay away from, you know. And this is kind of the max size that you really want your industrial zone to be. Anything bigger than this, you're going to start getting major traffic problems, stuff like that. So we'll just kind of fill in a road here. Make it kind of curve in back there. Maybe just since we've already got it going, we'll just fill in a road here as well. And we can make that happen a little bit nicer by snapping. There we go, something like that. And then the last thing, maybe we'll just throw one in right there. Yeah, that looks good. And then we'll use that and just zone this whole area. I don't like to zone the outer roads. Like I said, I don't really want to populate into the trees. I want to leave that kind of tree line alone. So we'll just kind of do something like this, see if we can't get some growth going. And hospitals, the last thing we've added. Now, hospitals are needed for both sides of the road. So a lot of times you'll like to put these on your larger kind of roads, but not really initially, because you're going to have a lot of growth that you need to do still. And then we're already hitting more power issues. This is a place where if you don't have enough power, all these houses are basically nothing, so you're not going to grow very well. So we can afford it. We've got $1,500 to play with per week. So we'll go ahead and we'll just take our first loan here. And take us down to about $1,100 profit per week. But we can go ahead and with that loan, we can go ahead and build our power station. And we'll just we'll pre-plan a little bit here. If I put it there, I'm not going to be able to put another one on that side. Maybe if we can put it here and kind of do them this way. Yeah, that'll work. I think that'll work. And the last thing we need is water all the way down. Make it a loop. And we'll come back strong, see if we can't fill in all of that. And we do. Of course, we ran out of power down here too, but that's now fixed. Trash is piling up. Make sure this guy's operational. It's on. Looks like using all 15 trucks. But we have a problem with our industrial zone. Our industrial zone can't get over here to our residential zone. There's no way. So now, we'll be able to do that. And with that, that's going to cause a little bit of traffic problems. So we'll just mitigate some of that initially by doing this right here. I'll want that one and that one on, and there we go. Now that's going to allow this main road to flow pretty nicely, while the side ones have to stop to get off onto the main road. And you'll see we don't really have any traffic problems yet. If you look here, we got a little bit of a buildup going on here, but that should be mitigated now that we have the stop sign going. It's real funny. Anybody this way has to come up back to this road, so that's going to almost be a collector in itself. We'll probably end up having to upgrade later, which kind of sucks because I put the school right on it. But that's going to end up being a collector in itself. Kind of forcing everybody back down this way. But that's okay. We are back to needing residential. It looks like we're kind of expanding this way nicely. I like how this is kind of broken up. It's still gritty, but it's not necessarily a grid. So I like that. I'm going to kind of keep that theme going. We need to go ahead and finish out our road coming this way. Something like that. And we'll do the same this way. Turn a little bit of snapping back on. Do that. Change the direction. And since this is going to be so far down here, we'll just go ahead and make it to where they can turn around. Maybe there. We should probably put one here too. That's a good distance. And probably something right about there, right? Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense pretty well. I'm actually going to do some changing on the roads here. We don't want a lot of roads feeding into this main road. So we're going to do that and kind of bring this one back to where it almost cul-de-sacs right there. That doesn't go into the main road. And that's going to kind of mitigate some traffic woes that we'll have later on. Come on. There we go. So now that those roads don't touch, we'll actually mitigate every other stoplight. They'll have to come up this way, of course, and go over a road to get back on, but that's fine. It all works, and because of that, we'll just go ahead and keep this coming this way, something like that. We'll let it naturally kind of collect into there. And the same with this one. We're kind of stuck with that little type pattern there. I think this is coming in nicely, I think. Our growth this way. Not too bad. We'll just run these out. pretty straight just to break up some of that. Yeah, something like that, I think. And we'll do our every other road strat here. And of course we need our water. And now we can zone in more residential. Just do like a wide sweep here. We're gonna want a lot of this going residential. Basically everything in the back roads. Kinda something like that. Fill in the shops. And we'll get back to growing. I'm not quite sure why we were losing so many people there before that addition. I think we're just kind of not able to grow at all. And so just like a normal neighborhood would, it's kind of filling in nicely. A couple houses coming in here and there. Nice little vista going on. Nice little 2-story with a balcony. And of course some shops. Is that a Panda Express? Yeah. And we just need to make sure, yeah, we inadvertently unzoned that area. So let's add that back in there. That's probably why we lost some residents a minute ago. I didn't realize that got unzoned. That's actually, we need to unzone that. Did not mean to do that. We can rezone that whole thing now, though. That actually worked out in our favor. There we go. How's our water looking? Water is perfect. No issues yet. Power is perfect. No issues yet. Trash. 5% used, and our schools. Schools are a little under educated. But I don't really think, we just haven't had time to kind of get those people into the education zones yet. So we'll just kind of let that continue to grow. See where this loan is, $13. Let's go ahead and pay that now. That way we can get our weekly revenue up. And boom, there we are. Population 1,000. Doubled population in pretty quick. Pretty quick. You'll see now we unlocked a new square, districts policies, a second loan, district specializations, service policies, some emergency services, a couple unique buildings, agricultural specialization, forest, which we really need up here in our industrial area, power usage, water usage policies, smoke detectors, and a new firehouse and a police station. So we will need to be throwing in our firehouse and our police station pretty quickly. The main thing would be the police station to get in there first, just because the citizens like to feel protected. They don't like to have a high crime rate in their areas. So that actually, right there, gives a good... Yeah, I like the way that works out. And we're a little shy on the fire department. We need 2,000, which we'll gain pretty quick. So we'll just let that happen. And with this, now we can actually see our mineral resources here. And you can see we've got a little bit of forestry area there, a lot of forestry area up here, major forest over here, and some oil even up here. We've got some weak fertile farmland, not really ideal. A lot of forest down here. Yeah, a little bit of industry to work with. We don't necessarily have our industry DLC packs unlocked yet. To get the farming one, we're gonna need 1600, which is fine. So we'll just let that grow. Our next achievement's going to be at 1600. So yeah, that's when all that's gonna unlock. Perfect. That's perfect. We'll get quays. We'll get these canals. A bigger road. We can start upgrading roads. That'll be helpful. Kind of grow into that a little bit. Now I wonder if I should start coming over to this side of the road and building, because we're definitely out of housing over here. That's gonna fill in. It's gonna kind of dense up pretty quick. I think we're gonna leave this for the interchange type thing. Kind of probably fill this in as soon as we can. What do we want? What are you thinking? We could get this whole peninsula down here, kind of work toward, but I think we need this one first to kind of work toward this and build in this kind of area. We don't really need to work with our interchange yet. But if we go back to the resources, there wasn't a lot. Yeah, there's not a lot to offer. We can come over here and kind of set up a farming area here in a few minutes, but there's not really a lot of resources to offer other than down here at the bottom. Which means this whole area is going to have to be kind of farming so that way we can make resources for it. But yeah, let's go ahead and I think we go ahead and purchase that. Yeah. So we can kind of keep filling in our coastline. That's what we were kind of working toward, right? So let's keep doing that. And while we're kind of densing up here, we will go ahead and continue this way. Let's turn grid snapping back on. And I think we're gonna make this stop probably somewhere right about there. That's actually perfect. That kind of worked out really well. We kind of have this downhill slope kind of into the river. And so we'll make some beachfront property come through here kind of and fill in all this. Kind of have property there. Kind of do the same kind of width on this side, I think. Kind of maybe this much. And that'll kind of be our highway. We don't have highways unlocked yet, right? That is not what I wanted to do at all. There we go. And this is what I was kind of talking about though as a collector here. We want to kind of naturally progress this upgrade. The city's going to start getting a little bit busier. And you're going to see your traffic go up here. You can see we're kind of going off that green. Like I said, that's going to be kind of a natural collector there. Kind of going off the green down here too. So maybe we maybe we should kind of fill that in with the... We'll leave it for now. I think we should do this one though. Eventually, pretty soon. Or we're going to start getting really heavy traffic near this area. Well, we'll just keep letting it fill in a little bit. We're making good money still. I'm not even worried about money, really. But I do think we have to continue going this way with our shops. Just kind of get down here to the coastline where we should start building this. Now, I don't want to build right on the beach, right? Because you want a little bit of off the beach, kind of fixing that slope there. Kind of following that land. So we're going to try to stay up above where it starts kind of transitioning. Down, kind of something like that, maybe. Boom, 1600. That was actually pretty quick. Wow. We got there pretty quick from the 1000. Yeah, we unlock a lot of new policies here, and along with some industrial areas. Yeah. Okay. New styles of road, medium road, more canals. A couple different park styles. We've been needing that, which means we also have some tree styles. And like I was talking about, we have these dirt paths so we can kind of fill in some of this area that doesn't really have right? We can kind of uncheck all these and kind of fill that in, you know, with a little bit of a path, right? Kind of come down here. Kind of make that kind of connect, right? Now people can walk places. Yeah. All right. All right. It's pretty nice. Yeah, we'll come back through and we'll kind of detail some of this, put some more paths in, kind of break up that monotony there. But we'll come back to this. Like I said, we're just trying to stay right on this natural hill that kind of occurs. Not really creating a new zone level. We don't really want to make it rise up. We just want to follow that path that's already there. I think we could stop there for now. That's more than enough. And go back to our dirt roads. Yeah, there we go. That looks pretty good. Looking pretty good. So we're gonna zoom in on the school area here. And like I said, we want to try to add in some shrubbery, maybe something like that. Maybe one in the middle there. Get a couple low-lying trees kind of mixed in with it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We'll come back to our paths here. Maybe make a dirt path from the school out. Something like that. Something there. Make it so. Yeah, something like that. It's not too bad. Yeah, I think so. Maybe that's too big. There we go. Kind of add some stuff like that. Maybe even get some. Do we have like a short? Yeah. Throw some of these bad boys in there. And don't we have a super tall right there? We'll do that guy there. Something like that, just right out front of the school. Yeah, yeah. Look how much better that area already looks. We do have policies, zoning policies now. We can make it a park. We want to use the tiny brush though. We'll make that a park. And we're going to change the name of it. We'll leave it as Maple Park. That's fine. Maple Park Elementary. Maple Park Elementary. There we go. Do we have, what do we got here? Amusement park fence, park fence. No, all these are little... I think we go with this one. Yeah, that looks pretty good. There we go. Yeah. I think that's looking pretty good. Good work. So come back over here. We need to fill this area in with our shops. And we'll even do that part right there. We'll let that fill in with shops. Kind of come in. And then we are running out of industrial. We need more industrial, but we don't. We're almost at a max industrial size here. Don't really want to. Apparently all this caught on fire. Nice. Nice. What are you doing, fire department? What's the fire department doing, man? Apparently they were not able to get over here quick enough. That's okay. Boom. There we go. So what's our next goal here? I think next goal is going to be 2,600. About 600 away right now. So yeah, I think at the 2,600, I think we'll call it a video. Kind of good little stopping place for our beginning city. I do like how this is coming along. I like the natural progression of it toward the ocean. And all this, we're gonna have to find something to do with this. I don't really want it to be residential. And we can go ahead and just clean that up a little bit. I don't really want this to be residential. I think it should be more of like a either like a riverside park or maybe like a highway side park, something like that. I think that would be better. Maybe like this whole area should be like a natural, nature reserve type park. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think that'd be nice. So yeah, let's just keep growing for another 600-ish people and see what we can come up with. Let's check our electric and water here. We do need more water naturally, which is fine. We can go ahead and throw in just another one of these bad boys right there. And I think that's kind of a natural place for it to be too. I mean, this one's kind of servicing this whole area and this whole area, and that one, yeah, I think that's where it would be. Makes sense. You see these shops filled in really quick. Way quicker than we were anticipating. Which is fine. Not necessarily a bad thing. But we should go ahead and kind of get these. And now we're going to have to delete some buildings to kind of connect every other one of these into the... And that's fine. I think that'll be alright. Yeah, it's not too bad. And we'll just go ahead and throw this in how they kind of naturally form. I think that's coming along nicely. It is a little gritty. Maybe we could break some of this up and, I don't know, kind of do something kind of rounded on this side. I don't know. Yeah, I think we're gonna, on this side of the map, we're gonna try to really not be as gritty. I think kind of more of a natural formation of where the roads kind of end up. For now, I think that's all right. That's all right. And we'll fill in our kind of natural shops that are going to appear on this main road. Just kind of let them build where they want to build, where they would naturally build at, you know? Something like that. I think they would all kind of build. What we're kind of planning here is either like a park or like a water type, like a beachfront park type thing. Maybe we'll have to rescope the sand or something. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens there. And it looks like I know this is really where we want to stop with the expansion of the industrial area. I think we're kind of at its natural limit of how far it can kind of handle traffic-wise. But I think we, just for the sake of growth, I think we kind of have to fill some of this stuff in. But we don't have to be so direct about a grid on it. We can do something like that. Maybe even we can't come through there. All right. We'll let our industry kind of fill in here, just like we were planning. And do you think we should make it come out toward the highway? I think we should stay away from the highway. I think we should fill this area in with high-rise businesses and stuff like that once the city kind of gets to that kind of point, you know? I think that would be better. Yeah, definitely. It would be better. And do we have... No, when do we unlock these? Oh, right at 2600. Okay, okay. Not bad. We are sitting on about 100K. And we need more land improvement, but one thing we haven't done yet is throw in the water, and they are upset about it, I'll tell you that. And I didn't do that over here either. Perfect. There we go. Yeah, we do have a lot of just like open yard land here. So I wonder if we can come back in with some... Yeah. I think I like those larger trees kind of better. See if we can't pop some of these bad boys in. Yeah. Something like that. Okay. Yeah. This is kind of starting to fill up. I like it. We'll just go ahead and check electric. Running out of electric already. This is a great time to kind of throw some of this in. We'll check water. Water seems good. Garbage usage is filling up, but we're not quite at a max yet. Not quite a problem. I think we'll have to fill that in pretty soon. Healthcare. We're going to need another hospital. And we should probably put it somewhere right about there. Huh? Like that one. And when you got these city services, normally we'll kind of keep them together, right? And we will need another elementary school for the neighborhood. Each neighborhood kind of usually has their own little elementary school, not too far away from the main, not too far away from the population of people. So something right about there should work in that same like industrial complex, real close to the fire. And yeah, I think that works. And we'll go ahead and just make sure that's unzoned. And why is that? We definitely messed up here. We don't want that. Can't believe I did that. We want it to be this. Like that. Get those residents in there. There we go. That's going to kind of accelerate some growth here. What is going on with this? Not enough workers. Do you think our industrial zone is too far away from workers? Could be. Don't really know what this shape is, but I think it definitely breaks up the kind of makes it look like a little person holding the holding the industrial zone. But yeah, I think that turns nicely into a little residential working area. A little working class residential zone. Something like that. Yeah. And that'll give some workers back to this area. And they've already moved back in. There we go. And we just need to make sure we got power running between. Because we really don't want the residents to be close to the industrial area. They'll become sick. So we want this little buffer of what's going to naturally be shops where these guys can give goods to these guys directly without a lot of travel. And that'll turn into this kind of residential zone that's going to kind of come out that way maybe, and maybe something this way, and that'll kind of start the progression this way for us on this side of the highway, of what will be the highway. As soon as we unlock it here in about 200 residents. And we are kind of densely filled in here, so let's just go ahead and we'll kind of do a general boom. There you go. Delete these guys. We don't really want anybody building there. That's fine. And we don't want anybody building there. Yeah, there we go. There we go. We'll just go ahead and check our power again. Power's good. Water, good. Trash is fine for now. Education is going to be good as soon as these guys start getting to an age where they can go to school. We don't really have any other schools yet, right? Oh, we do have. We are getting into the high school era here. So we'll just put one of those right across from. And that we don't need very many of. But we will need over here an elementary school. And I think we don't really want. We want kind of a school complex here. Can I fit this in? Yeah, I can. Perfect. And that's going to even give us, over here, there's one that's a basketball park, isn't there? Yeah, right there. Just too big. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Residents are getting sick. Let's look at our pollution. Which is one of these. There we go. So why are you guys getting sick? Is it because your water directly comes through from there? See what that does to them getting sick. Kind of throw a hospital in there, see if that kind of helps them with the sickness. Already helped this guy not be sick. Yeah, they're feeling ill because they're drinking water. So yeah, having it connected to the water that's over here turns it polluted. Really? I did not know that. Okay. Well, there you go. That'll help. That'll help. And now all these guys are sick. Wait, did we spill in? Oh, you know what it is? The pollution reached that. I clicked on the wrong one again. One block is still industrial. And that's literally making everybody in the city sick. So we're going to cheat that a little bit. We'll cheat that a little bit, see if we can help it. Nope. Instantly polluted as well. Nice. That one's not though. So maybe over time that'll unpollute here in a minute. Okay. We should unconnect that water tower for a while. It's fine. We'll just throw a new water tower in somewhere right here. That'll be alright. Now they'll stop being sick. There we go. And that'll stunt growth. About 100 away. About 100 away from our goal here for the video. Alright, if you guys have liked the first little section of this city, go ahead and leave a comment with what you think we should expand into. I do like the way this is coming. I think this is going to kind of create a natural road that comes this way, and that's going to lead to this hole being filled with residential. We definitely need eventually to connect this to the highway in another spot. There we go. There's that 2600 I was talking about. Unlocked a lot of new buildings here and some roads, so we desperately need that highway. So yeah, I think this is gonna spread this way nicely, probably down right to where that's at, and fill in all this residential in the future. But the only thing we need is a new name for the city. We don't really have, the given name is Los Rico. I don't like that. So leave a comment down below with what you think the name should be. I'll pick one, and that's what we'll name the city. It is kind of. Also, let me know if you think there's something we can improve with this hill right here. I don't really like that drop off. Maybe that's gonna naturally kind of feed straight off. That might actually help though, because when we put that highway in coming through here, it'll kind of naturally feed straight off into that and create a underpass, kind of a natural underpass almost. Maybe that'll help a little bit with that bridge connection that I'm kind of planning there. But yeah, that'll lead us over to that side, and all of this we're gonna have to make farmland. Like this is gonna have to be the farming side of the city. That's why that highway is so critical coming down the middle, because we'll have all that farming traffic kind of going into back into the city through the highway. So yeah, I think that'll work. I think that'll work for now. What I'm gonna leave you with is some kind of sped up, just kind of planting trees, kind of detailing, as they call it. Throw some trees in, kind of all these little spaces here. That kind of makes sense. But yeah, like I said, if you like the video, make sure you subscribe for the second one. It'll come out here in a couple days. We'll just keep expanding this city. Leave a comment below with the name of the city that you think it should be. I'll pick the best one a little later. But thanks for watching.